Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I want to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma, removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken. What if I told you that just one thing could change your life forever? What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. I was thinking about this today as I was getting ready to record today's episode. I was thinking about if I could give you one thing only that would change your life, literally today, right now in this moment, what would it be? And as I sat in it and I thought about it deeply, it occurred to me that when I was 27 years old, I had no confidence. I did not believe in myself. Even though I'd been starting this healing journey, I was still smoking cigarettes. I was still drinking too much. I was still not working out as much as I could. And it was through discipline that my life began to change. So if I could give you one thing today, one thing very simply that would change your life, I would give you discipline. And discipline, especially I think in the mental health and trauma scope, can often have a negative connotation because to me in my brain, in my mind, discipline felt like a pain word, a word of suffering, a word of hurt, a word of loss, a word of anguish. Because growing up, you hear you'll be disciplined, you'll be punished, you'll be hurt if you don't execute in a certain way. But as I got deeper into this journey, I realized and very much like you hear so many people who have found success in their life, whether that be, Jocko Willink or Tom Bilyeu or Anna Lamke, all these people, they point towards discipline as being the singular factor between success and failure in their life. And discipline is about this. It's about, can you show up today in doing the difficult things that you need to do that will in turn help transpire and create the life that you want to have. And for so many of us, discipline, it's not even necessarily about waking up at 5 a.m. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. If you want to wake up at 11, wake up at 11. But can you do that with consistency? Can you have discipline in that? Can you have the discipline to hold yourself accountable to being the person that you need to be? And I know I've had this conversation with you before, but the reason I'm having it again is because even in my own life, I'm looking at and navigating discipline at scale now. How do I get to the point that discipline becomes autonomic? And that's what I'm hedging into right now is, can you create discipline in your life in a way that the things that you need to do become automatic, where you don't even have to think about it, where it's a part of your journey no matter what, every single day, 365 days, every single day of the year, and 66 on the leap year. Because I know somebody's going to be like, what about leap year? And so yes, on leap year too. But more so, giving yourself the permission to find success through your choices, decisions, and actions. There's so much effort and energy required in not living your life. And you've probably heard me say this before. It takes as much energy to destroy your life as it does to build your life. And if you can apply that energy into doing the things that project you forward, the thing that will happen is that on a long enough timeline, if you do this with consistency, you will see your life be different. And then you will sit in this room of your existence in real time and recognize a very inherent truth, that you have become the person you're capable of being. And when you recognize that you have become the person that you're capable of being, this really fascinating thing will happen. You will start to wonder who else you could become. And that's kind of the place that I'm in my life right now, is looking at this measurement and going, okay, I've become this person, this idea of Michael and who he can be. And in that, I sit in it and I'm very happy with it. And I have a lot of joy about it. But I also have come to this really profound truth of recognizing that that's not enough. Not that I'm not good enough, let's be very clear, but that the person that I am today is not enough yet, because I need to continue to create the life that I want to have by deploying massive amounts of discipline into a new level of activity, a new level of action, a new level of thought process, a new level of education, a new level of workmanship, a new level of spirituality, mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things. And so in that, I've been sitting and thinking about, okay, if the discipline I've had has got me to where I am, then what is the discipline that I need to get me to where I want to go? We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken trauma healing coaching program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. And so I'm sitting in that deeply, and I believe this very much, that this will change your life if you leverage it. If you really step and tap into discipline in the way that I'm laying out for you right now, it'll change your life. Why? Because you've only been able to get to where you are by doing what you're doing. Now, look, if you're happy, and I've said this before, great, then you've already won. There's nothing else to change. But if you're not, then you have to be willing to change and to step into this at an even deeper scope, because it is only through that you're truly going to discover what you're capable of doing. And the level of discipline involved becomes so much more important. You know, think about Olympic athletes who are champions, who win gold medal. They all point to discipline. Think about the business professionals who are incredibly successful. They all deploy discipline. I mean, even this show, 365 episodes this year, discipline. It's the sitting down, it's the doing it, it's the showing up day in and day out. But I was thinking to myself, okay, well, wait a second. If I want to have the number one mental health podcast on planet Earth, what will that entail? Who do I need to be? What do I need to execute against? What do I need to learn? How do I need to show up? What's next? And so part of the discipline is, and I mentioned this the other day, now moving into a studio where we'll be doing some in-person recordings, which I'm very excited about. Doing more online recordings with people who I can learn from even more, that we can learn from even more, that the Unbroken Nation can learn from even more. It's how do you get discipline that you become good enough that those people want to come and be a part of this? And so my head's just deeply in that world right now. Even like the new book, Unbroken Man, one of the things that I want to tell you guys is, like, I recognize when I finished writing it that I'm not done yet. And I made a decision to write every single day until I complete it, as I believe that it needs to be done. Because when I sat and I read it, I thought to myself, this is really good, but it's not great. And I made a decision, become disciplined enough to write the book better. I'm literally going through it line by line by line ad nauseum to write the greatest book on men's mental health that has ever existed, because that became the measurement for me. I said, what do I need to do? And so I apologize because of the delay, but I made a choice that I believe is for the betterment of it. Because in the same way I'm looking at these disciplines, all these other areas, it's also about food and entertainment and the information I'm putting into my brain, how I'm showing up, how I'm connecting to people. And so ask yourself, if the discipline you've had in your life has got you to where you are, what is the discipline that you now need to deploy to get to where you want to go? And I promise you that it's going to be different than what you're doing now, because if what you were doing now was going to get you to where you wanted to go, you would already be there. That's the weird juxtaposition about this. And so as I step deeper into it, as I step deeper into running these businesses, coaching people, having a podcast, writing books, speaking on stages, and moving towards that mission of ending generational trauma in my lifetime, the question is, what do I need to do in terms of discipline to get there? So ask yourself this question, like, what do you need to do now? Now, look, it might literally be waking up at 6 a.m. It might be doing 20 minutes of personal development every day. It might be not eating junk food. It might be whatever that thing is. I don't know, because I don't know what you are seeking. But what I do know is if you do not already have it, then it's time to activate the next level of discipline in your life. And it's not a bad word. It's not a scary word. It's actually an empowering word. It's a word that's going to bring you everything that you want next in your life if you're willing to execute. And so if you want one thing today that will change your life forever, it's to ask yourself, where do I need to be disciplined next? Unbroken Nation, thank you so much for listening. It means the world to me. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram, so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.